Like, that was weird. Like, the whole thing was kind of, like, weird.
Is Britney Spears okay? On top of all of her public mental health struggles, family issues, and legal issues, conspiracy theories have been going around about what exactly is going on with her. A lot of people think that she might be a clone, but why do they think this? Let's break it down. On the latest episode of her Let's Be Honest podcast, Kristin Cavallari revealed that Britney actually personally reached out to her. Apparently, she wasn't super into Kristin bringing up the conspiracies about her being a clone in a recent episode. Of course, Kristin started off her episode by reminding everyone that she has always been a huge Britney fan and loves her. But after she brought up the viral Britney Spears is a clone conspiracy, things got weird. Kristin said that Britney's manager reached out to her publicist to connect them. Britney's manager said that she wanted Kristin's phone number. I bet that at first, Kristin was freaking out. Imagine being a huge fan of somebody and they want to connect with you like that. One of the biggest pop stars of all time wants your number. Of course, Kristin was nervous, but she said that these nerves were because she knew that Britney probably only wanted to talk to her for one reason. It had to have been because of the clone allegations. But of course, Kristin said yes and hoped for the best. However, unfortunately, once Britney and Kristin connected directly, things got weird. Kristin said that they had a roller coaster of a conversation that ended when Britney ghosted her. Apparently, Britney and Kristin talked about Hollywood conspiracies. Kristin didn't say exactly what Britney said, but she joked that it was so weird that it seemed like things that only a clone would say. Celebrity clone conspiracies are huge right now. People think that everybody is a clone. We're talking Beyonce, Britney, Eminem, Paul McCartney, and Kanye West. And that's not even like 5% of all the people accused of being clones. But of all the clone conspiracies, one of the biggest conspiracies going around right now is about Kanye. A lot of people think that Kanye has been replaced with a clone of his past self. Some people say that he was cloned by the Illuminati. Some fans also think that the Kardashians did something to him to drive him insane. Anyway, Kristin herself believes that Kanye is now a clone, which she went into on her podcast. While she got into it less, she also said that she doesn't think that Britney is Britney anymore either on her podcast. And that's where the drama started. In my opinion, it's so interesting that Britney wanted to connect with Kristin specifically. After all, Kristin is not the only person who thinks she's a clone. The whole internet is full of clone Britney conspiracy theorists. Kristin is not alone here, for sure. But if Britney wanted to shut Kristin up or change her mind, it did not work at all. All she really did was offend Kristin and weird her out. That is not how you're going to convince somebody that you aren't a clone. Britney's manager added them both to a group chat and called them icons. Kristin said that Britney sent her a super long text. She said that the text was basically just one run-on sentence. Of course, she didn't share it publicly, but she did say that it was one of the most interesting text messages she has ever received in her life. Kristin and Britney also talked about hanging out in person in LA. That seems super weird to me. I don't buy that Britney would want to hang out with someone she didn't even know, especially if they publicly accused her of being a clone. And the weird thing is that Kristin doesn't even know her. How would she even know how she was before versus how she is now? Apparently, though, things were going well enough that Kristin felt like she should message Britney outside of the group chat. They had a short conversation. They supposedly talked about meeting up when Kristin was in LA in December. Then, all of a sudden, Britney disappeared. She allegedly ghosted Kristin. I don't think that they are ever really going to meet up. The whole thing left Kristin with a lot of questions. She said that she felt like Britney didn't actually ever want to hang out. She was just pretending to be friendly to shut her up. Anyway, Kristin took this interaction as proof that she is onto something. She now thinks that Britney really may be a clone of her past self. But I think that Kristin could just be saying all of this because she's mad that Britney ghosted her. I think that anybody would take it personally if somebody that they have been a huge fan of for years left them on red. She said that she felt like Britney didn't want to be her buddy and that she was only trying to shut her up because she knows the truth. Kristin said that at the end of the day, all that Britney and her team really wanted was to silence her. But if the goal was silencing Kristin, Britney and her team messed up big time. She is still speaking her truth, and now she is also mad about it. What do you guys think of all that? Do you believe that many of the world's biggest celebrities, including Britney, have been replaced with clones? I guess anything is possible, but we do have it on the record that especially Britney and Kanye have really intense mental health issues. In my opinion, it's more likely that they're just struggling with their mental health than that they have been replaced with clones. Remember, Kanye was diagnosed with bipolar disorder in 2016, And as far as we know, he does not have all of that under any kind of control. And honestly, Britney's situation may be way more complicated than her just being a clone. Many people think that the pressure of fame from a young age basically drove her insane. You might remember how the paparazzi treated her, even when she was a kid. A lot of fans also think that her own father used all her public struggles against her to take control of her money, career, and life. For about 10 years as an adult woman, she was under conservatorship. That meant that she legally had no control over her basic life decisions. Britney couldn't make a single decision for herself for years. But there's one thing I really don't understand. Even to this day, Britney was apparently so messed up she couldn't make any decisions for herself, right? But she was still performing in Vegas every night for years. That doesn't make any sense. But what does make sense to me, though, is that people going through what Kanye and Britney have been through would act off. Still, some people swear that all the weird behavior of Britney and Kanye is because they have been replaced with clones. Do you guys also believe this? Or do you think it's all nonsense? Do you think that people are accusing mentally ill celebrities of being clones because they don't get it? Or do you think we have proof that this is happening? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below.